Superman versus the Elite.
2012.
2012.
It was pretty damn good, actually.
I fucking really like this.
I'm not even gonna bury the lead. It was pretty damn good.
Yeah, I
did
really
like
like
this.
this. I really like this
It was
one.
good.
You get the voice acting?
Sure.
Do that first.
Superman, Clark Kent, and a robot. Gonna find this robot was George Newberry. Lois Lane, who I think gets the MVP for this one.
Yeah, she was great.
Paula Perrette. Robin Atkinson Downs plays Manchester
Black.
Manchester
Black.
And D. Bradley Baker plays Atomic Skull, who I haven't seen in anything.
Yeah.
I've seen him in the comics, but good for them, including this guy. Augie Banks plays Terrence Baxter, dock worker. And Gray Griffin, Young Manchester. We don't care about that. Sorry, we don't care about the young voices. Anyone else notable? David Kaufman, Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah, Cold Cast was... I don't know what that is, but
yeah, this was a small cast. Which
Cold Cast, Menagerie,
works in their favor. It's about 6 voices,
yeah,
at the very least, that you're paying attention to, and they do what you want them to do. Good story, good action.
What it
kept me engaged.
Well, what it
didn't lose me in the third act.
No, yeah, it's what's Superman's biggest weakness, right? It's not. Don't say kryptonite. It's not. Yeah, it's kryptonite, but it's his biggest weakness is also his greatest strength, which is his values and his character, right? And in this movie,
and his hair.
Yeah, his hair too. It's a fantastic twirl in the front.
He's got the hair, and that goes to shit.
Clark Kent doesn't have the twirl, right? That's the
Superman thing. Yeah.
See, that's how you don't know. If I curled the front of my hair, you wouldn't.
Well, that's the thing. You were walking the curls these days. I was like, you don't look like the coke I'm used to.
Yeah, that's it.
You look like cocaina.
I say cocaine.
You got the cocaina. Oh, you done? Huh?
Cocaine.
You checked out on that one.
But yeah,
you had the evil eye.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's
you
good.
look like a Atomic Skull.
That's from the toes.
Yeah.
That's from the toes. That one.
We're gone. This is a good film.
But no, yeah, they question his values, his character. So it's almost like, what if the world turned against Superman because he's not putting the bad guys away for good?
A lot of parallels to what's going on right now in life in terms of people will turn their back on you so quick as soon as something new comes along.
Yeah.
Especially if it's...
Agir?
That, and like, if it decides to go against what's been working.
Yeah.
Like, Lois Lane has a great line of like, if it ain't broke, like, don't fix it. Which is true to Superman. He's the most boring superhero in the world. But that's what you want. You want him to be true blue, Boy Scout, just get it done to the best of his abilities. But he's finding out as the more that he does his job that it's harder to keep these villains in line.
Yeah.
So Atomic Skull plays a huge point in this.
Yeah, he's a big,
because he's just killing people, and Superman does what he normally does, takes him down, puts him in jail. Yeah. But then there's this whole, I guess, UN
this whole argument
discussion about like,
why didn't you just put him down?
Yeah, man, you're costing us money.
You did this last time.
You're turning him into a prisoner. We got to pay money for this prisoner.
Yeah, just take him out.
Kill him. Yeah.
And he's like, I can't do that. So this other group.
So already, like the people, like the law.
The law are questioning him.
Yeah, like the governance, like people that you want to have the high morality and all the values are looking at him like, hey man, we know you're a god and an alien, but can you do the dirty work that we're not willing to do?
Yeah.
Like, goddamn, man, this is Superman, right? So already they hit you with like this is the world that he's living in at this point.
And then he meets this group of other superheroes.
Of these miscasts, outcasts, outskirts.
They
misfits. That's the way.
They label themselves heroes, and they are fighting for the people, but they're
just metahumans who've banded together.
They've banded together, but they kill people.
So do you want to go through each one of them and the power sets, maybe?
Sure. Okay. We can go through. Yeah, no. Manchester Black, who's like a telekinetic, right?
Right.
So he can read minds, he can move things around. He's also the leader.
Quite effectively too, right? He can transport too, right? That's his thing?
Well, that's the ship. Bunny teleports.
Oh, yes.
So they have the big live-in fucking ship.
Yeah, they come with a portable base. They're really all in, except for the only thing they didn't have before meeting Superman was the name. And they picked a good name.
Yeah, the Elite. Yeah, he was like, he does that one line. He's using a name now. But yeah, see, Manchester Black, he's British, right?
Yeah, with the Manchester.
Well, I stalled because we already went over his fucking powers.
Moving on.
Cold cast is like he manipulates electromagnetism, so it's not quite Magneto, but it's he absorbs energy.
Static shock.
Yeah, static energy can dish it out.
But he's bigger, badder.
Menagerie. She's like
Medusa.
No, she's a symbiotic. They got a symbiotic relationship with some sort of alien.
Okay.
That kind of gives her wings and has the fucking slugs and snakes all over. And
so she's what would happen if you got a PG hentai comic? Because it's not crazy tentacles, but there's crazy tentacles. Yeah, I see what you mean, that's where I was going with that.
And she's horny as hell for Superman.
So, like I said, this is
horny as hell.
This is like a PG rated hentai. I know some of you out there have seen some non PG rated hentai, so you know where I'm coming from.
And then there's the hat, just hat.
Which is a cool name.
Yeah, hat. He's got a magic hat, and he can kind of pull anything out of that.
Yeah, he's got creature. He's got fantastic beasts, and he knows where to hide them.
Yeah. Zing! He's got a magic hat.
I'm on the cocaine now.
It's that's magic.
So they come across.
Those four,
they kind of come across Superman like, hey man, we like your shit. Can we roll with you?
Oh yeah, they're in awe of him. Yeah. Like, oh my god, you're tall. You're Superman.
You're Superman. And he's like, yeah man, I'm Superman. What do you guys about?
They get into that weird fight with him with the fucking big bug. That was weird.
There's some weird stuff in it, but it all keeps progressing the plot, which is. These guys like what Superman's doing.
Yeah, well, there's the warring countries, right? There's two fictional countries that are at war.
Right, but
that's kind of the basis. That's how everything kind of comes about.
You look at it like a Great Britain going against like Ireland.
Right, no, but that's the whole source of the conflict, right?
Kind of like an EU shit. That's why they have this whole UN thing, because even there's like ministers that rise up and they're like, hey man, there's a war going on in my country. It's your fault. And he's like, I would never. I'm about the peace treaty. I would never do it.
Yeah.
Superman's like, all right, go take it this shit. But yeah, Manchester's tired of his fucking the law-abiding governors and prime ministers not doing what they said they need to do. They're not cleaning up these streets.
So they start putting bad guys down for good, killing them, and Superman
is like, no, don't do this, man. You can't do this. And they're like, we can do whatever we want, man. Yeah, we're the elites.
And so the public actually turned with them against Superman.
Yeah, how quick? So like, this is what crazy. Really brought me into like today's day and age. How quick the
turn of favor.
The turn of the tides were, like, as soon as one little piece of information popped up, like, no one wanted to do any research. They're just like, all right, fuck the old shit that was always working. We want this new shit, right? Yeah. Like, kids in America are now wearing, like, Union Jack t-shirts for Manchester Black.
I don't want to be Superman.
Yeah, there's a scene where kids are fighting. And no one wants to be Superman anymore because he doesn't get to kill. And Superman overhears this. Like, damn. Like, that's
cold-blooded.
Yeah, that superhero's got to burn him more times than not. Right? Now, a lot of people are like, man, Superman's the best with his Boy Scout shit.
And he's sticking to his guns throughout, right? Like, no, this is how you do it. It's not perfect. And I know people are bad. Some people are bad, but
even though there's like three separate scenes where he's constantly called into question. So like with the UN, the makeshift UN, they're like, why don't you put him down? With the elite, they're like, why don't you put him down? And Lois Lane's like, man, I don't know why you should put him down. And like, God damn, like this Superman.
The hose will back up off me.
Yeah, so he has to go to his Fortress of Solitude way more times than I think he normally does. But luckily he does, right?
Yeah.
And he's got super robots too.
Yeah, the clone bot. Yeah,
not bad. I've not known this.
Yeah, you got the army of clone bots.
I don't know if they need the shields on them, but who's going to take credit for them? They're not a pain. They look like iRobot.
But someone's got to keep the fortress clean, right?
It's ice.
Yeah, well,
it's hard to clean.
Got some robots, man.
He's got time on his side. Anyway,
it's good. It's really good.
It builds to a great third act where he finally faces off against the elite.
Yeah, and it's a nice contained story. It's a big story, but it's channeled. Like there's not
it's contained between like two countries, and there's not a giant meteor that comes.
There's the one plot, yeah.
And there's no extra superheroes, right? It's really contained for Superman, Superman, and these new guys who typically I don't know.
They have cool powers too. They each have they're all different type of powers. Like it's not like. Well, one's a strong guy, and one guy flies, and one guy's fast. It's like it's like the powers were cool.
A good reinvention, and typically DC doesn't really take chances on new characters, especially this far off the docket or table.
Yeah.
But they really went out of pocket for these guys, and it works, right? So I like that.
Yeah.
Solid. How many bottle
That was
caps?
good. I'm giving it 4.
Wow.
I get 4 bottle caps.
That's a lot of bottle. That's a
I'll
lot of
give it-
drinking.
yeah, I'll give it
This
4
is-
bottle
this is-
caps, baby.
It's a 3.5, man.
Yeah, I get 4.
Drink it down. Drink it down.
You were the first, the best. But now you're a cliche and you don't fit in anymore. Mad scientists, idiots in underwear, bank robbers, knock yourself out with that lot. But the real work, fixing the world, is ours.